Chapter 11. No experiencer and no experience. Maharaj. We know ourselves from a body-based perspective. This body form knowledge has to dissolve. This is the principle behind spirituality. Though you may know I am not the body, that knowledge needs to turn into conviction. People say I am not the body, I am Brahman, I am Atman, I am Paramatman, I am God. It's very easy to say, but this knowledge has to be real, established, totally established. It is true that everyone knows the body is not our identity because it undergoes change. We see the changes. First comes the child, then the young man, then the old man, and then someday or other, willingly or unwillingly, we have to leave these bodies. The body is not our identity. This is the established truth. Yes, I know that, says the questioner. It is obvious. Maharaj, you say it is obvious, but are you living like that? We're not accepting this truth. We have a lot of love and affection for the body. This has to dissolve. Questioner, because we are too attached to the body? Maharaj. King Bharat once asked his minister, who has the strongest love for another? Is it the mother's love for the child, or the sister's for the brother, the husband's for the wife, and so on? Who? The minister replied, everyone loves himself the most. People love themselves the most. There's another story in the same theme of a mother monkey and its infant. One day they were sitting happily playing in the water pond. Suddenly the water started to come in and rise. The mother monkey quickly lifts the infant out of danger. Then, as the water continues to rise, the mother raises the infant even higher to prevent it from drowning. The water keeps on rising till finally, in desperation, the mother monkey releases her protective hold of her infant in order to save her own life. She sacrifices the baby for her own survival. This story is used to illustrate that no one loves another more than himself. Questioner, self-love? Maharaj, nobody loves anyone else more than himself. There is a lot of love and affection for the body, mind, ego, intellect. Therefore, it follows that our expectations are often so high that they can't be met by others. Questioner, is that love all for the body then? Maharaj, yes, but do take care of your body. Don't neglect it. But at the same time, know that the body is not ultimate truth. As long as you view yourself as the body, you will be under the illusion of fear and all the rest of it. Questioner, if I am not the body, then who am I? I have had experiences like bright lights in my head, astral travel, premonitions, visions, and feelings of spiritual warmth, and so on. I know that I am much more than this body. I'm beyond, something beyond. It's hard to explain. Maharaj, experiences are not so important. When you get closer to selfless self, you will discover that there is no experiencer and no experience, and no witness and no witnesser either. Don't measure yourself in the body form. Your ultimate truth, your final truth, your Brahman, Atman, Paramatman, God. Questioner, so how do I experience Brahman? Maharaj, Brahman is invisible, anonymous, unidentified. There is no experience. There is no experiencer. There is no experience. There is no experiencer. There is no witness. There is no witnesser. We have to forget the physical body, the biological body. We have a spiritual body which is invisible. It is not a biological body or a physical body. All the questions that you have are related to the physical body. There are no questions at the spiritual level. Questioner. The questions will keep coming as long as I consider myself to be the body form. Maharaj. Yes, yes. In reality, you were not the body prior to beingness. You are not going to remain the body. Beingness started, and instantly you said, I. Prior to I, your presence was there. So all these questions, along with spirituality, came after when, one could say, ultimate truth attracted you. Remember that these words I'm using are only words, so don't cling to them. Questioner. It is the body then that has caused all the problems? Maharaj. The body in fact offers an opportunity for you to know yourself. Reality became unknown to you when the body suddenly created a big illusory distance which made you forget your identity. Be strong, have courage, don't live a cowardly life, be like a lion. Do you know the story of the lion? A lion cub was brought up in a flock of sheep. The lion cub started to think it was one of the sheep. It was afraid of dogs, afraid of wolves. Then one day a second lion appeared and tried to befriend the first one. The lion cub started bleating, "Don't hurt me, please, I'm a sheep." The second lion takes the cub to the bank of the river and says, "Look at yourself in the water. See your head. See the rest of your body. I'm showing you, I'm serious. You're a lion just like me." With just one glance, the cub sees its reflection. First the neck, then the body, each part. Okay. By doing this, it realizes and accepts. So, I'm just like you. There is no difference. All this time I was living as a sheep, but I'm not a sheep at all. It looks at its reflection once again and roars, "I'm a lion." Convinced, it runs off as a lion and not as a sheep, which it never was. The Master is saying the same thing. You're not a man. You're not a woman. You're Brahman. Why fear when you can roar? This means that, after knowing the reality, you go to your original place. It is a nice story that indicates the spiritual lion. We are coaxing you to come out and start roaring, "I'm a lion, I am that." You're already a lion, but you forgot your identity. Because of the long association with the body, you started considering yourself as, "I am somebody." Master tells you your ultimate truth. You say, "How can I be?" So he explains, this is called knowledge. These stories, which give confidence, are suitable for the initial stage. You're to accept the principle of the story. You've got to teach yourself not to fear, not to be depressed or affected. Don't take the touch. You're suffering because you're taking the touch. Questioner. On a personal level, I've experienced quite a lot of suffering. Maharaj. Who is the sufferer? Pay attention to what I'm trying to convey. You have a sense of separation, alienation, and distance from your source, which has made you feel that you're something separate, somebody else, with an independent existence. Spirituality is therefore required. Meditation, bhajans, and knowledge too. Why? Because you have forgotten your identity. And so, when my memory comes back and I remember my identity, Maharaj, it's not like that. It has nothing to do with remembering or memory. Don't take my words literally. Every day I'm saying the same thing. I'm not talking about forgetting and remembering in a literal sense. It will happen spontaneously when you know. The moment the unidentified identity is known, then that is conviction. Spontaneous conviction. When this spontaneous conviction happens, the individual will no longer be there, because this is beyond talk. At present, when we are talking together, we see ourselves as two bodies, a disciple and a master. If you pour a bucket of water into the sea, you will not be able to remove that water because it has merged with the sea. This is called the merging process. When there is realization, it is like this. If one is absorbed in the reality, the bucket of water poured into the sea, you can't then extract the bucket of water from the sea. It is an impossibility. There is no individuality within that bucket of water. This happens in a similar way in the process of merging and absorbing one's ultimate truth. You are ultimate truth, final truth. Questioner: how long does the merging process take? Maharaj: spirituality is needed for as long as there is that span of experience of beingness and absorbing beingness, dissolving beingness. When we come across with this illusory world, all needs started. The moment you are convinced that this illusory world has no base, you will know that it is the spontaneous projection of your spontaneous presence. The world is the spontaneous projection of your spontaneous presence. It is invisible, anonymous, unidentified identity. Just to know this is enough. The body is not our identity at all. Open fact. All body relations are illusionary concepts. You can use your body, but don't give it so much attention. Don't depend on the body form so much. The body has its own time limit.